All right. We got ourselves a big series here from the Harrisburg University Virtual Global Cup $3,500 tournament with Dark in the bottom right side playing a best of 5 against Cure in the top left, doing the 2 Rax Reaper opening. Cure, a fantastic Terran, and I feel like him and Dark almost always deliver bangers. Unfortunately, for Cure's sake, they are more often ending in Dark's favor than Cure, with Cure having a something like 35% win rate. So, you know, Dark doesn't quite have the 66%, the 2-to-1 win rate. It's like 64, 65%. It's still pretty damn powerful. But I've definitely seen Cure win his fair share against Dark, and he definitely takes him down to the wire very often. So I'm hoping personally that we see Cure just ascend. You know, he won that GSL championship a while back. I would say he's actually, I wonder how Cure does versus Solar, actually, because he is a very good player. And oh, he's built a 4th Reaper. Interesting. He's really going for that hatchery. Now, is Dark's link speed super late? He has to cancel that hatchery. There are no doubts about that. Dark's a little supply blocked on 36, but not too bad. As long as he keeps droning right now, he's building Lings. I don't think building Zerglings makes any sense here, because there's no way you defend this hatchery, right? No, there's no way. You're going to have to cancel that and build it on the other side. Notice he should have already sent a drone to the other side, but he hasn't. Dark's doing Dark things right now, guys. Does cancel it, but he hasn't sent a drone to the other side. Interesting. Okay, so he's just going to retake the same hatchery with a delay. Very supply blocked on 44 right now. You know, he's Dark. He's spreading creep. He's droning. He did build 4 queens very quickly. I think he's making a decent play of not, a non-ideal scenario, having that cancelled. And Cure, of course, just goes 3rd command center. He's going to be swapping the factory onto the reactor soon. Barracks will flow over to kill the Overlord on the pillar. Should be lowering that depot and sending a Marine around, but I guess he's a little bit worried about the Zerglings coming in with Zergling speed, so fair enough. It is what it is. 3rd hatchery is about 1/3 of the way complete. 2nd gas going up, 3rd gas as well. 4 queens are out. 5th and 6th queen will be popping soon. The creep spread is going to be absolutely monstrous. These Cyclones need to get across this map quick, man. Starport is, of course, on the way. The way this build works, you get a few Cyclones, sometimes a few Hellions after that as well. And then you do pressure with this sort of weird hodgepodge army. But the Reaper grenades plus the Cyclones micro ability, a few Hellions to deal with mass Zergling, very good. And then you've got the Medivacs come in behind, because you'll swap the Starport onto the factory. Factory will go up to the high ground, build a tech lab, start making tanks. And then you'll have Stim, Marines. You can also do a Hellbat timing if you want to really commit hard. That is, of course, entirely optional. Queen's taking a fair bit of damage. They don't really have much transfuse energy yet. Just 1 goes down. This Overlord is a bit of a dangerous scenario. If you can get it to the pillar, that would be great. Oh, luckily the scan does not notice it. Just clearing the creep up front. Dark's got a tumor on the north and a couple of active tumors on the south, though, so he should be able to replace those rather quickly. Baneling Nest is on the way, and already a 4th base at 5 minutes. That's an early 4th base for Dark. He's got a pretty early 3 gases. Carapace starts up. 2nd Evo chamber's on the way, so he's going to have a lead on the Carapace. Keep in mind, Engineering Bay has not started yet for Cure. Should be going for 3 more barracks and the engineering bays in the near future. There's that factory on the tech lab, like I said. 3rd barracks on the high ground. And Ling's getting ready for a bit of a backstab. Double engineering bay does drop now for Cure. Going to move out with a 10 marine drop to join up with this force. And combat shields is going to pair up nicely with this. For 40 seconds from now, that timing will hit. The 2 medevacs do get spotted. Dark is going to need all of these Lings at home. It's going to be all hands on deck, man. He's going to need his units at home. Oh, he can get rid of shields. Oh my, that's so annoying for Cure. Cure's going to lose shields. The thing is, these Lings aren't at home, though, so Cure's got a window to push in right here, right now. He scans, he kills some creep, he kills that Overlord on the pillar. Queens are taking some good damage. There's a few Banelings in the back. I don't think this is a great fight for the Lings to surround on. Dark kind of getting ahead of himself, but wait, if the Banelings connect, it's all worth it. And he does end up connecting pretty darn nicely. Shuts down Cure's army. Cure has lost more units than he's killed. You might think that's terrible, but keep in mind the units, the workers tab. Dark is actually going for a 1-1 Baneling all-in right now, and with a tank in the natural, I don't know if that's going to work. I mean, don't get me wrong, this wall is very bustable. Baneling speed will be there, and +1 carapace. Oh, if that tank gets on the high ground, that's going to be massive. Yeah, he doesn't have a wall off up there, though. Oh, this is going to get so weird so fast. Dark doing a 46 drone, unpredictable mass link Bane all-in. Oh me, oh my, that is SCVs are going to get hammered. Another tank pops out. The Marines... Oh, one Baneling actually connects with a few of those Marines on the ramp. The SCVs, actually, a lot of them are going to escape. I did not expect those SCVs to escape there. Starport goes down. I mean, that's actually a pretty nice pickup, killing the Starport, because there's a few medevacs out. I don't think it matters too much, and those tanks saving the day. Sergeant Chathammer on the high ground with 26 kills. Oh, she just butchered Dark's economy. I mean, his army. Damn. He has a kind of crazy attack there. Dark really needed to hide what he was doing, wait for Kua to move out to the third, and I think he could have worked it. He was just hoping, like, hey, there's no tanks right now, or you're unsieged and that sort of thing. And the thing is, it's such an unpredictable attack. Kua really didn't realize what was happening. And if you see 4 hatcheries, you're not thinking, oh, he's on 46 drones massing Ling Bane trying to kill me. So perhaps he should have moved out. Or waited for Kua to move out. On the other hand, we see that Kua knows who he's playing against and has his tanks in the most defensive stance of all time. Marine Cyclone on the south, poking in and out. Dark's going Burrow. Burrowed Baneling's a great comeback mechanic, but only 59 workers as the Terran worker count recovers. Plenty of orbital energy, so he should be dropping more mules here. I'd love to see him do that. Notice he's dropping them in the natural, so this is Kua saying, hey, I'm playing Dark. If I drop mules on the third, he's going to run in and kill them with Zerglings. So he's so afraid of Dark's crazy counterattack that he's only dropping mules in the natural. Marines come in, clear some of that creep. Dark's creep control is being heavily pushed back. 2-2 upgrade starting for Kua. Obviously way behind the carapace. That's already 85 seconds underway. Dark shows no signs of adding Hydras, of adding Infestation, of adding any of that tech. He's just playing Massling Bane on 5 gas. 65 drones now. And he's basically just going to go for a big grounding army and look for good engagements. But every second that goes by, the income, of course, is going to be better and better for Kua. You've also got to look at the units lost and realize that he will naturally be more efficient as the Terran player. Right now, only an 800 resource gap in the units lost. All those SCV kills for Dark paying off. But the fact that Dark's economy is so small means, you know, he actually needs to be more efficient than the Terran if he keeps this low economy up. Infestation Pit goes down, 9 more drones on the way. Creep is respreading. I like that Q is slowing things down. He's also got a second factory on the way, which he'll build a reactor on and go Widow Mines. He's got drilling claws and already starting the mine production. Realizing that siege tanks aren't very good against Massling Bane. They're better when there's Hydras out, when there's, Hydra Baneling. It's good against, but Ling Bane is so fast, it's a problem. 5th base gets cancelled and 6th base. Uh-oh. Dude, Dark can't even control these bases. These tanks are taking up a killer position down here. It feels like Dark is going to be having to crush an army and go for a counterattack. He's only on 4 base versus 3. Now, to be fair, Kua hasn't built a 4th command center yet. There is still a chance here. And, oh, big flank coming in. Big flank for Dark. The Baneling's taking a few killer siege tank shots, but these Marines in the back are getting surrounded. A little slow on the pickup there for Kua. We definitely could be critical of that one. I think he could have got in a few more Marines out of there. On the other hand, a good fight is a good fight. Catching so many Overlords as well. Dark's looking dead in this game. If it was not Dark, I'd say he's already out of this game. Since it's Dark, I'd say, well, that remains to be seen. Banelings connect on the bottom. A few Marines do get saved in the north. 4th command center starts, as well as going up to 8 barracks. So, in terms of gearing up for the late game, is there like a tech comeback available for Dark? Well, Hive is going to give him Adrenal, it'll give him Vipers, it'll give him access to Ultra Tech, which I think he will probably play Ultras this game. Remember, Ultras are slightly cheaper these days, 275 minerals instead of 300. It's not a massive change, but about 10% cheaper. It does add up. I just don't see Dark getting Lurkers out or anything that really changes the course in time. Whoa. Okay, good hot pickup. Widow Mines get taken out before they detonate, though. Nice ambush for Dark. Dark does need to do a better job of respreading his creep. Dark has a tendency to only spread creep on one side of the map when it gets to this stage, but as I say that, he notices. Spreads creep on the bottom. He's got Tumors in the middle. Tumors there. He's doing all right at maintaining a bit of map control, and actually, he's going to build a Hydra Den. It'd be funny if he just uses it for Lurkers. The classic, wait till your Hive's done before thinking about it, but 3 Vipers will start peppering the medevacs and getting efficiency. He's on 85 workers. Q is still only on 67 workers, so Q is late 4th base. And he's playing a momentum style. This is what he did versus Raynor in the finals of G8. He tried to just basically say 65 workers and aggression. I'm not going to play proper late game. Oh, the Widow Mines shoot a lot of the units, but at least he saves most of them into those medevacs. The medevacs are heavily wounded, but better than straight up losing the Marines inside. Yeah, I think a lot of people were critical of Kua after that finals at G8 because Reina is such a multitasking beast, and trying to kill him with the momentum style, exactly what Kua is trying to do here is for many people would consider it just a not really playing to your strengths and to play to Reina's weaknesses. Against Dark, it absolutely could work, but as Dark starts to bank up money here, the urgency has to come in. Kua needs damage, and he needs it soon. Because we've got Vipers, we've got +3 Carapace halfway done, Adrenal Glands is on the way. Dark's doing a very good job of stabilizing this game and getting back into it. Yes, his creep control's lacking. Look at that. Parasitic Bomb goes out. That'll pop 2 of those medevacs. Nice save on a few of these Marines. Medevacs will go south into the main base. 4,000 resources lost difference, but with a 20 worker advantage, Dark's happy to trade like that. These Vipers can gather energy and, of course, pick off those medevacs as well. Widowmine is going to recharge if he doesn't watch out. Marines in the top are dropped. They're taken out. Feels like there's no real big push right now. There's also no concussive shells. And 2 more barracks going down. What? Guys, Kua is playing 10 racks. Why? Why would you ever play 10 racks? He's trying to play mass Marine Marauder. No ghosts. No third factory. No liberators. This man wants to win with Marines, Marauders, and Widowmines. Oh my lord, Kua is about to play like an absolute savage. Big thanks, Wardy fans, for hopping over with the raid. Give you guys some big thanks and say hello to you in a moment. But now we've got Dark vs. Kua in the Harrisburg University tournament. This is a $3,500 tournament. There were some really big games in it. This is game 1 of this series. It is a best of 5. Bane Viper on the south. Kua's looking for a giant, overwhelming bomber style. He's got 3-3 finished. Dark's Carapace kicks in. Dark says, let's go for it. Parasitic bombs everywhere. Will the Widowmines get the big boom booms? They will not. A fantastic engagement for Dark. Kua's army just got wrecked. Guys, there's losing a fight, and then there's literally your opponent pulling down your pants in a public place and pointing at you and going, ha ha. And that's exactly, Dark just Nelson Kua. He literally just Nelsoned him. Kua's going to need to be careful with this army. You don't want to lose a fight on one side into losing a fight on the other side. That's exactly what happens. None of his Widowmines are landing good hits. As I said, that one at least gets a few Zerglings, but it really feels like Dark is just annihilating him. Only down 3,000 resources right now. And Dark, from being pretty much screwed in this game to just casually way ahead. It's the classic Dark experience. You know, it's almost painful being an analytical caster watching a Dark game. His micro and his engagements are just so good. He basically defuses half the Widowmines. The other half of the Widowmines, he drags into the Terran army to do friendly fire. I don't know. Part of that is a little bit of luck. Part of it's also Kua not having enough firepower with his army. You really need a lot of Marines. If you've only got Marauders, you don't have enough firepower. Marauders are tanky, but they can't kill the Zerglings very quickly. Which means if you're not killing the Zerglings, the Widowmines are just going to acquire the first target at the front. They're going to shoot that, which means, guess what? They're shooting friendly fire. You actually want them to fire on the Banelings that come in from behind. You want them to fire on the massive clumps of Zerglings and those sort of units. Kua still has a big army supply. Remember, he's got 10 barracks, guys. No add-ons on those last 2 barracks, so I'm still kind of iffy about that choice. He's only on 66 workers. He just wants to overwhelm with mass bio. I think he's going to need to do a pretty good pre-spread of units. He doesn't have that many Widowmines here. Only about 4 or 5. In the top, though, that planetary gets exposed. Dark says, hey, buddy, you're in a fragile economic position. If I take out this base, I know you can't contest this. Nicely done. Doesn't get a chance to burrow any Banelings or anything. The whole army does go down. It's not a cheat move, but he gets 12 SCVs. Main base lifts down immediately. I'd love to see some SCVs get rebuilt for Kua, but remember, Kua is playing a very momentum-focused style. We talked about it earlier. His plan is not to rebuild the economy. He's like, dude, I was already going for just mass bio, big army advantage. I'm going to use every SCV you kill to build that advantage even stronger. I'm not giving myself longevity. He's basically saying, I'm going to eat all the meat I want, drink all the whiskey I want. I don't need to live to be 100. Brian Johnson can go F himself. Let's friggin' just get in here and kill you right now with the peasant army. Marine Marauder late game. It's not something you see very often in Zerg vs. Terran, but I love that Kua's doing something a bit different. But more SCVs going down, man. Ling Bane rolling in another 9 SCVs. He still hasn't scanned to clean this base up. Kua's got to get this army moving, man. And now having an orbital on the top, no planetary in the south, it feels a bit bare and a bit undefended. Now he starts rebuilding SCVs, but we'll see what happens. Nidus in the main base does pop up. Oh, that's huge. That's huge. I mean, Dark's got so much more money, and oh my god, Kua not watching for a moment. Oh, okay, the Widowmines do smear the Zerglings. The bio needs to get back. But look at that, Nidus pops inside the main base. Oh, nothing inside that Nidus worm. That's what we call a fake Nidus worm, guys. That is basically spitting on your opponent and going, haha, made you look. It's not actually something that is meant to do direct damage. It's meant to force your opponent to split their attention. Speaking of the devil, Baneling's rolling in, parasitic bombs on the medevacs. These trades, I think, are good enough for Dark. You might think, oh, 6,000 resources down, but look, he's permanently maxed. He doesn't need to build an Overlord right now. He's also got Lurkers out. Did I not say, wouldn't it be funny if he uses this just to get Lurkers? And I mean, he did build a few Hydras earlier, but yeah, his Lurkers are now out. Hard to break through Lurkers with Biomine. You need Ghosts or Tanks or Libs. Otherwise, you got to use your mobility. But now that the Lurkers are here, that's going to be an issue. Marine Marauder rotating around there. All right, Overlord's up in the very top of the map. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bases for Dark. He's got a reinforcing Nidus on the front. Ooh, Viper with a parasitic bomb, but the Lurkers are at a bit of an awkward angle. Those front few Lurkers attacking the concave, but as the Lings and Banes come in, nice cleanup. Q is looking pretty dead in the water right now. He's got a momentum-focused early game composition. He's got a few siege tanks. Those were the defensive tanks. I believe one of those is Chadhammer from the high ground. Yes, Chadhammer has been told to move out. You know when Chadhammer's moved off the high ground, Terran's looking desperate. Lurkers down here in the bottom harassing this base. The top base getting ransacked. Marines trying to hold behind the mineral line, but there's too many of them. There's too many. It's game over, man. It's game over. Kua had a massive advantage this game, and I feel that is your textbook Kua versus Dark game. Kua looks better and cleaner in the early through mid stages. Can't quite get ahead versus Dark. Feels the pressure to finish it. Throws away an army or two, and then Dark just gets back in the game and crushes it later on. Very nice game 1 recovery for Dark. Oh, okay, everybody. Going into the next game, and Kua is sending 3 SCVs across the map. Team Liquid's Kua. Dude, that is about as all in as you can get. He's going to build a 3rd barracks hidden a little bit further behind the 2 barracks, probably up here. And he is going to try and kill Dark with Marines and SCVs. So I am sensing a little bit of urgency in Kua's play. I don't think Kua looks too confident going to the late game. And remember, Dark used to beat him with those old Broodlords all the time. Used to just chip at him. There was the famous game on Waterfall in GSL last year where it should have been a draw. They both traded armies at the end. Dark kind of won the fight, but he didn't have any money. Neither of them did. And Dark didn't have anything that could shoot up any like corruptors or anything. And Kua could have just lifted a building to the corner and forced a draw, but instead he tapped out, not realizing that. the number of times, you know, Kua's looked ahead versus Dark, and then Dark just does some dirty stuff. So Kua's like, I'm having none of it. I'm going to all in you right here, right now. And Dark was actually doing a 3-hatch gasless build, where he always scouts ahead with his drone before taking the 3rd hatchery. He's now pulled a bunch of drones, but it's too far away, man. Does he realize there's a 3rd barracks? He doesn't. He's losing a lot of mining time. Because it's gasless as well, he has to rely on Queens, Zerglings, and Spines. But it's almost a little bit more elegant on the defense because you've got more minerals. You didn't waste money on gas or anything like that. That man is spawning pools there. 8 Zerglings on the way. No Queen, no Spine, no Queen. Is he just going to go pure Zergling drone? I like that he's got the flanking drone squad on the right side, guys. Does kill the first bunker. 2 Queens start up. No Spine Crawler started. If you're playing Mineral only, you need a Spine Crawler or you're dead. Dark, you can't be this greedy. You need a Spine Crawler, mate. Oh, he's going to try and do it with pure drone Zergling. That's a lot of Marines, though. 5 Marines already together. But they're getting surrounded. They're getting surrounded. Dark might have this. He might have this. Oh, my lord. Dark is getting on top of him. A lot of the Zerglings are gone. The SCV's starting to go down as well. Nice surrounds with the drones, but the Marines keep killing the drones and breaking themselves free. Those 3 drones get surrounded, though, which is massive. Great damage coming in for both sides. A lot of drones have gone down, but so have most of the Marines. There's not many Zerglings left over here. There are 2 Queens out behind this, but there's no mining for Dark. Almost no mining. He is going to take out this Marine here. Another drone goes down. The SCV just killed that. Billy Bob, the man with the drill. He's got to stop these Marines getting inside the bunker. The drones have to fight. Dark has to fight with those drones if those Marines try to do a runner in there. Zerglings and Queens will take care of the bunker now. And not a moment too soon. The bunker will get taken out. Oh, no! He lets him get the 75 minerals back. Dark not focus firing that. And Q is still building Marines on the front line. A few Zerglings will go across the map, but Command Center will seal the door here. Oh, no, he's going to go for a depot. Interesting. Now he goes to the command center. I guess he doesn't want the command center to get delayed if the SCV floats to the exposed building point. Spinecrawler is now going down, but I think Dark's... it's a weird position because he's got 2 Queens that are now saving up transfuse energy, which is very powerful versus Marines. These Zerglings definitely should have been going up to the ramp. Tries to come in and intercept the Marine rally there. Does take out one Marine. The other Marines will pop out and defend it. Spinecrawler needs to finish here. 14 more Zerglings building. Oh, that's bad. That's bad. Dark sees more Marines rallying, so he kind of knows, oh god, I need defense right now. But the Zerglings suck. They're almost worthless. Once you hit 14 Marines, and he's already at like 12, what are you going to do? They're going to kill like 4 Zerglings instantly from range. Your Zerglings are basically just tanks, and Zerglings are a terrible tank. They're a damage unit. They're not a tanking unit. Only 70 hit points between the two Zerglings, which I guess isn't too bad for 50 minerals. It's definitely better than a Marine, but Marines are, of course, one of the worst tanks in the game, so... Dark is trying to drone and take 2 gases. Why is he taking 2 gases right now? Okay, Dark's planning some sort of bizarre Baneling. Oh, wait, it's actually an SCV pull? Q is actually pulling the boys. Okay, maybe Dark can hold. This is a crazy all-in, but the Lings aren't there. Uh-oh. Oh, maybe he can't. No, not without Zerglings. Oh, God, the Queen's going to try and transfuse the Spine. Spine has 2 armor, but dude, that's just so many Marines. The Marine SCV pull doing massive damage. And I think that gets him there. That's why Dark took 2 gases, because he realized he was being all-in. I think his Overlord scouted in the back and saw the SCVs leave. Yeah, I think he saw no gas, realized, oh god, you're all in. He dropped 2 gases trying to make a Baneling nest. He's actually focusing down a few of these weak Marines. Really nice focus fire on the Queens. I'm impressed by Dark's micro. He's going to also intercept the rally with these Zerg. Is there a way? It's a lot of Marines, though. 9 Marines in an SCV. That Queen's getting some good damage. He's wrecking Kew's rally point. This game's so close. I mean, Kew does have an economy at home, and there's only 9 drones, so he might actually be ahead even if he loses all these units. Yeah, this is a desperate spot for Dark. He's killing every Marine as they pop out, which is great, but up here in the main base, the Marines and SCVs, they're just microing well enough. If he can take out a few more drones, that's going to be massive. And look at that. Yeah, the drones are going down. The Marines are straight up winning the engagement, and that'll be that. Dark's going to have to tap out. Very well played by Q there. A dirty all-in. GG. All right, that was a kind of savage way to get back in the series. Not a bad way to do it for Q down here, representing Team Liquid in the bottom right. Dark in the top left. Such a confidence boost to start a series, losing your 3rd hatchery, getting quite behind as the game goes through the mid-game, and then just winning anyway in the first map. I feel like it's such a confidence boost for him, and I don't think he's too worried about more 2-Rex Reaper. Obviously, losing to the 3-Rex is a problem. He needed to build Spine Crawlers. If you're playing gasless, Spines are the only thing that are going to trade really super-duper well versus Marines and SCVs. And he, of course, thought it was a 2-Rex. So it's not like Dark's stupid. Wow, you know more than Dark, Pig? Wow, you're so smart. Wow. No, we could see the 3rd barracks. He couldn't. There's a reason Cure hid the 3rd barracks behind the front 2. It's because the 2 barracks Marine is less committed, and you don't really want to be building Spines versus that. That's why you hide the 3rd barracks a little bit behind, and the Zerg gets surprised by just how many Marines you're able to rally forwards. Seems like a rather small difference to the casual player, but at the pro level, it's game deciding. Oceanborn's a pretty small map. I normally favor Terran on this one. So I think that last map, Golden Ore, is a good one to just throw out a dirty all-in. Big, wide open areas, pretty good for Zerg. I was talking to Clem about vetoes, and he was saying, you know, some Terrans actually say they like Golden Aura. So he's like, I'm not fully decided on if Golden Aura is worth a veto or not. He's like, definitely there's some big wide open areas where Zerg fights really well, but there's also some like pretty compact bases where it's quite easy to defend them. Oceanborn is pretty much always a Terran map choice though in every matchup, just because the medium size of the map, medium to small size, get across the map a little bit quicker. You've also got some good tank positions and ledges. Now, Dark's going to come in with his Overlord. Normally, you want to go in to see if they build the command center or not. This is the fastest way to see if it's a 3 barracks, but he pulls back. And I don't know why players do this. I guess they just don't want to lose the Overlord to the Marines. I know Beyond for a while was going 1 Reaper into 2 Marines to kill the Overlord if it came in too deep. So I guess that's the fear for Dark. He's just going to sit back with the Overlord, and if he sees Reapers rallying out of the main, then he'll know what's up. He does start a 3rd hatchery in the face of this. This was not a good move in the first game, and yet he's doing it again. Q is going to start a 4th Reaper, man. He's got 50 gas. No, he's not going to start the 4th Reaper this time. Interesting. It worked really well for him in game 1. He is getting a lot of damage on the hatchery, but no, he's changing it up. Factory goes down. Okay, faster factory. No super quick third command center this time. Cure wants to keep the momentum up. After game 1, remember he played 3cc, but I really feel like he just feels pressure because he couldn't finish it. He still goes third command center, but the factory first does tell us he most likely wants to get the medevacs going across that map pretty early, I would imagine. Or maybe an early Banshee is another option. Fourth Reaper did come out, guys. Pig is blind. And he gets the cancel again. I still don't know why Dark's building 10 Zerglings, guys. If you have 3 Queens and he's wasting time killing a hatchery, you don't need 10 Zerglings this early. He could have built a few more drones and squeezed those Zerglings out later. To me, I think the initial 6 or 8 Zerglings should be plenty here. It's only 1 or 2 drone difference, so it's not the biggest. But definitely feels like Dark's response to 2-Rex Reaper here is suboptimal. Which, to be fair, is Dark's middle name. I mean, it doesn't really matter, right? That's the problem with playing against Dark as Cures. You can be like, cool, I got a good opening. Against a normal player, I feel great. Against Dark, I feel like, will this even mean anything in the long run of this game? Will this matter at all? That's a fast second gas in a Baneling Nest. Are we planning a weird mid-game Bane bust? He's stopping at 37 drones and making mass Zergling? Okay, Dark's either drunk or he's planning a crazy all-in, because it's way too early for him to cut economy for a defensive build, and yet it's such a weird late timing for an offensive build. Especially with the add-on on the inside of the wall. He now goes back to droning. Man, Dark's inefficiency in this opening. I know I sound a bit critical. There's a good reason for it, guys. You can show this opening to any Zerg player. It's not very efficient at all. Cure is getting a very nice position here with triple mules, triple SCVs. He is going to be going for a Hellion production and the Liberator. The Reaper's going to join up with that. Hey Pig, if you do scout a fast third command center, is a Roach Ravager all in a good answer? Not really. I mean, I think if you want to do that, you'd probably, I mean, you might have a certain all in you could pull off against it. It really depends what they do with it, how fast you do it, and your exact plan. You need a lot more specifics than that at pro level. Generally speaking, I would say do your exact normal plan is the advice you'd give to the average Joe player out there. Don't focus so much on scouting and reacting. The difference between that command center being 1 or 2 minutes earlier is not going to be that big of a deal. And you probably just want to work on your fundamental game plan to be more solid. Alien's got some creep there. Liberator's going to come in the back. So far, Cure has not lost a single unit. Great reaction by Dark, and that's a bad Liberator, guys. That's going to take a ton of damage. He should have tried to escape to the right, gone home and repaired. Because at this point, that Liberator can't do anything. He still hasn't lost a unit, and he's killed a lot of Zerglings. So, I mean, this is pretty bad micro for Dark on the Zerglings. I'm not feeling Dark's play at all. Don't get me wrong, Dark can look drunk when he's playing, but once he gets 10, 12, maybe 14 minutes, like he gets the late game, it doesn't matter what form you've seen in the early game, Dark's instincts kick in the late game, so it really is going to be a survival game for him. Securing a 4th base is a conundrum though, and being on 3 Hatchery Ling Bane, that's not enough production, nor is it enough economy. His natural's undersaturated, as is his main base. 14 workers on one, 15 on the other. So Dark's economy is very low. He's going to try and go burrow again. Cure gets rid of some creep, trades a few Marines for Zerglings, not too bad. And his production going up to 5 barracks now. 1-1 has only just started, so there is an upgrade lead for Dark of about 50 seconds. But man, his creep spread's getting diminished massively. And Dark's got to feel quite behind here, and the reason is that his opening was very poor. Liberator flies in, is shot down immediately by Queens there. Was that the first unit loss? No, he lost 1 Marine and 1 SCV as well. Still a great unit. Lost tab for Cure, and especially when you account for the fact that Dark is trying to take a hidden base because he can't defend a 4th. Holy... Guys, there's desperation, and then there's like how bad this situation is for Dark. I'd love to give some defense to Dark here, but this is ridiculous. Taking a hidden base in Zerg vs. Terran is one of the most desperate things you can do. Because Terran is dropping you from all angles and sending Liberators across the map all game. Like, they're always going to find it and kill it. You're never going to get drones there safely. This is a disaster of a game. But the question remains, is Cure confident enough to finish it? Because we saw in game 1, he was pretty far ahead. Not this far ahead, but he was pretty far ahead. He still couldn't finish Dark, and he gets overeager and starts to take bad fights. And Dark was kind of waiting for it for a long time. Kua gave him those opportunities. Now, is Kua going to play a better game this time? Is Kua going to be a little more organized, a little more precise? How does he want to finish this game? 4th command center is on the way as well as the 2nd factory almost finished. He's still being super cautious with these Marines. He's got to boost those medevacs in. Nice. Good boost. Notice how you always want to boost the medevacs in over the Marines before you are ready to pick up, guys. If you guys struggle with hot pickups, the big problem I see is most players wait to the last second to try to load up. Whereas most pros, you'll stim, you'll move in, and then they'll already control click the medevacs and move those over those Marines so that the moment things go awry, they just click them in the medevacs, they instantly hop inside. Otherwise, your Marines can get blocked by Zerglings from climbing inside the transport. 2-2's on the way. Dark with a very big Ling Bane army. Gotta be careful, Kua. Careful, Kua! Kua doesn't... Okay, there's a big army here. Kua's got to spread. Siege spread. Okay. Because remember, Dark has not been building much economy, so he's just been massing army, which means he has a little bit more army forward on the map than Zergs normally do at this stage. He's also almost got a hive finished. His 4th base is finally getting a few workers on it. Kua's got to be really wary about the counterattacks, because Dark knows he can't win a straight-up game, so he's going to look to swing it on the counterattack, and Kua's rallying everything across. Kua's so worried about how can I kill you, how can I overwhelm you, that he's leaving his door wide open. Okay, his 3rd base will lose everything. Chadhammer is on the high ground. He's got Widow Mines in the natural. The Marines on the top run into Banelings. He just lost 24 Marines up there. And he's got Burrowed Banelings there! Oh my god, Dark! Dark, you foul wizard! He literally, Kua A-moved these Marines, looked away, they all ran into Banelings and died. Kua attacked here, moved in, Burrowed Banelings, popped his whole army. He clears the entire 3rd of 30 workers, and Kua is suddenly way behind in the economy. I mean, Kua's still got a fearsome army, but holy crap, Dark is such a foul creature. He knows how to turn disadvantage to advantage. He knows the pressure it puts on players. When you are as hard to kill as... He rolls and kills even more SCVs there, guys. He's killed 24 workers. Even more than that have died. Actually, Chadhammer killed at least 10 workers with splash damage. It only shows 24 there, yet we saw 28 workers killed on the workers killed tab. And another Burrowed Baneling bait! Kua is getting destroyed right now. This is absolutely demotivating. Kua's like, I have the numbers to win this game. Dark's like, hey, if you don't maintain map control, I will just counterattack. I will fight where your army isn't. Then you'll get overeager and stim your army into bad fights. And suddenly I'm in a great position. Now, there's still a good army for Terran, and he could still win with 2-2, but I don't know if you can rebuild your economy in this scenario. 50 workers versus 85 ultras, adrenal glands, chitinous plating. And that was exceptional. That was exceptional play by Dark. And it's an understanding of saying, I know I can't play straight up. I have to do something a bit cheeky. Yes, a certain percentage of the time, my opponent gets wind of what I'm doing, and I fall flat, and it doesn't look great. But when you're behind in StarCraft, you cannot do the standard things. Yet again, Kua not watching, loses a lot of Marines to Ling Bane. Chadhammer, she's got 54 kills, but how many of those are her own SCVs at this point? Ling's ravaging the 3rd yet again, and these are just small numbers of Zerglings. Dark doesn't care about losing these, as long as he's keeping his opponent on 2 base mining. Queens are still holding the southern flank, the northern flank being held there. Viper's gonna go out and parasitic bomb those medevacs. Delicious play. Unfortunately, he threw 2 parasitic bombs on the same medevac. Slight mistake there. Lings are burrowed behind that base also. Chadhammer, the only thing really keeping Kua alive right now. Once again, see what happens, guys. If you don't change Widowmine targets or manually, or have enough Marines to focus the Zerglings, the Widowmine always shoots the front Zergling. And guess what? Dark's always moving the front Zerglings up into your army. So these Widowmines have been consistently doing friendly fire. The Widowmines have basically been neuroparasited without Dark even ever building an Infestor in this series. He's now going to overwhelm the tank position, Kua's only forward position. Kua does have an army supply lead, but the upgrades are dead even. There are now Ultras on the field. There are Vipers on the field. And look at this. There's still Zerglings in that mineral line. The Lings running in a little sloppy there. Definitely don't want to take that fight with just one Ultra and a few Zerglings. But look, 3-3s on the way. Anabolic Synthesis, which is the Ultralisk movement speed upgrade. Dark is on 85 workers. He's on 5 bases. I'd love to see Dark try and squeeze a 6th base in. He will do that up top. And it just, man, this man Zerg vs. Terran is magical. Now, don't get me wrong. These sloppy openings are the reason why he can't beat Clem recently. Why Clem has been destroying Dark is he just puts himself too far behind. But it seems like Kua doesn't have that ability to take these advantages and run with it. He gets absolutely swamped. Oh my god. Kua moving out in a ball. His whole army gets wiped in one of the most devastatingly one-sided fights I have ever seen. Dude, Cure has got to be suffering some emotional damage. All right, guys, Cure in the top right. I don't know how you recover. I mean, he's usually pretty damn solid, but damn, this is some painful games. And down here in the bottom left side, we've got Dark. Now, for those who don't know, by the way, StarCraft Historian actually did a fantastic interview with Cure. I didn't listen to too much of it. I only got, so I've actually got it on my list to watch. But yeah, he did a translated interview with Cure, which is a lot of work. Cure was talking about kind of being depressed at not having great results. I think this was like leading into his GSL championship, feeling how he basically looked back at the last 5 years and was like, did I just waste all this time? I have like, I don't really have any real big achievements. I'm not really hitting my goals, and how he felt really depressed and just kind of, he did like a bit of a, okay, I need to like work harder. I need to find a way to change these results. I need to find a way to get more results. And I do love that Cure won that GSL. I love that he's been picked up by Team Liquid now as well as one of the most consistent performers. And no doubt looking forward to round out their roster with another fantastic Terran player. Hopefully him and Clem can practice together and do some really good, thinking of some good strategies. But point being, I do think Cure turned a corner at some point. For a long time, he was a promising practice partner who just could not perform in the big tournaments, on stage, at LAN. And he became the online king for a while. Still could not bring it to GSL, and he finally won that championship, and it was such a great moment for him. Obviously, Maru has been a big problem for a lot of players, but also before that, Rogue, and Dark still has been a nemesis for so many players getting through GSL. There's a couple of guys that if you can't beat them consistently, they ruin your GSL prospects. Now, Dark's gone for the exact same build again that has clearly been putting him behind every single game, guys. I mean, the definition of insanity. Dark's like, Pig, I won those games. The only one I didn't win was the 3-Rex. And I'm like, yeah, you had to make comebacks in all of them. Dark's like, yeah, but I'm better at making comebacks than I am at playing a normal macro game. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to purposely screw up the opening, fall behind, so then I can make a comeback. And I'm like, Dark, what you're saying makes literally no sense. And Dark's just like, am I going to win? Am I going to win the series? And I'm like, it looks like you're winning the series. If I was Cure, I'd be emotionally damaged at this point, because he's like, that's the strategy. He's like, I've been watching the Florencia files. Like, apparently, you're meant to fall behind, look like you're kind of a bad player, so your opponent gets cocky, then beat them anyway, so that they're extra upset when they realize they let it slip away, It's... I am joking. I don't think that's actually Dark's intention, but he's going Roach Warren second gas quite early, and a third. He's doing it all in. Ooh, it's a big Roach Ravager Zergling all in. I would imagine, guys, he's going to go for about 10 Roaches, maybe 6 or 7. Morph them all into Ravagers. Mass Zergling behind it. Expect another Overlord or 2 to start soon. Yep, there we go. 2 more Overlords. Notice he's saving lava. 3 lava there. Why is he not making drones? That's because they're all going to be Roaches. Lava Injector should be popping out. Was he a little slow on these? No. Looks like he was just spreading a lot of creep at the front to really try and sell the story of I'm playing a macro game. 8 Roaches are on the way right now. Banshee coming out, though. Banshee counters this build super hard. Oh, that's actually really good for Cure. Cure doesn't really have any scouting, but he's like, yeah, I'll mix a Banshee in. And that is so fantastic. Especially if Dark builds like 30, 40 Zerglings before he sees the Banshee. And if the Banshee can intercept the Roaches a little bit outside of his base and start picking off the Ravagers, because he's got a good Marine count behind it, Stim will be finished, and a bunch of Marines and Reapers defending a choke point can do really well. Uh-oh, just don't get caught outside your base. There we go. Kills the Overlord. And then he should pull home. Don't get your guys surrounded outside the wall. Ravagers morphing right now. We've already got 3 Ravagers on the way. Does morph some of these Ravagers quite far back. Mass Zergling coming across this map. It's a big all-in. Oh, he sees a Roach. The Roach in front of the army. Dark gives away what he's up to. That Banshee was about to fly out across the map. If he hit that Roach, the Banshee would have been out on the map. Oh, no. Dark screws the pooch. He immediately holds down the drone key, realizing, yeah, this ain't going to work. There is no way he's going to... And he's already invested in 5 Ravagers. This is a fantastic build order advantage for Cure. Build order advantage at the start with killing the 3rd base, or cancelling it, I should say. Now he also shuts down a massive commitment to Roach Ravager Zergling. I mean, this is just such a good start for Cure. But, I mean, Dark is good at making comebacks, but he's actually looked brutally disgusting against Cure, to the point where I can imagine Cure actually needs a bit of mental coaching when it comes to playing Dark. If this series continues like if he can't win for this game from here, after, you know, screwing up game 1 and game 3, then I'm just like, okay, you need a different mindset when you're playing Dark. This happens when you play against someone a lot and they keep beating you. You get inside your own head and you start kind of just not playing the game correctly. Oh god, Massling run by. If he goes in the natural, that could be big. Why aren't the Lings going in the natural? Well, that's not a good run by. Dark. I don't know what... That was a bit of a weird one, guys. I would have loved... If he ran in the natural there, that could have been a game-winning move. If Cure didn't raise the depot in time. Bit of a weird move for him. Marine, Reaper, Banshee pressure on the front. We've got a few Roaches, Ravagers, and Queens coming forward. Dark's up to 60 drones. He's got a lot of Roaches in production, but they're not here yet. Uh-oh. Did he just lose his Overseer? He did. Oh my god, the Marines are focusing the Overseers. This is a crazy pressure from Cure. Cure goes for a bit of a wild pressure here. I don't know if that made any sense, because he's playing a bio tank game and he basically just stimmed Marines without medevacs on creep. Yeah, I don't think Cure is in a good head. He's massively tilted. I mean, yeah. He does not feel confident against Dark at all. He's way behind now. I mean, from where he should have been. He's not way behind, but like, look at the supply. It's Roach play, so it's not the most solid long-term play, but I feel like Dark has a free pass to Hive now. It's a bizarre move, just running in with those Marines. I mean, I think it's one of these things where he just is so in his own head. He's thinking, oh god, Dark might be super greedy. I reckon he's greedy. I don't think he has any army. Let's stim in. Let's see if we can find damage. And you got to realize he knew that there was a Roach Ravager Zergling timing coming. So you know that Dark built a lot of Roach Ravager Zergling. You saw it. Those units didn't magically disappear from the map, but I think because he saw the Lings on his side of the map, he thought, oh, I can get in here and do damage, but without medevacs, it's such a risky decision. And of course, those Lings are very fast at running home to defend. Banshees do still clear some creep. Good macro recovery so far from Cure, who appears to be swapping into late game mode. Alcy on a pretty good map for it, gets a 4th command center. It's going up to 5 barracks, make it 8 barracks. Okay, extra barracks coming in. Did miss a tech lab on one of them. But overall, I still think Cure could recover this game. Hive did not start that early. The Infestation Pit's been done for a while. Finally does start that. And it looks like a Lurker Viper transition. Few Infestors to help him get through the mid-game against any Marine pushes. Dark's very good with this style. He's usually very efficient with it. I like this style, but I think it's a timing attack style. I really feel if you play Lurker Viper and your opponent is taking a fast 4th, going tanks, going ghosts, it does fall off very hard at a certain point. Dark's one of the better players at finding a way of sneaking a Nidus into the back of the Terran base or something to get the Lurkers out there. But if they have enough tank ghost, Viper Lurker Infestor falls off super duper hard. Marine drop on the south, getting some damage. A few Marines in the middle, clearing a little bit of creep there as well. Good multitasking from Cure so far, keeping the pressure on. Gonna see a few Queens there and we'll have to pull back. Great positioning by Dark. Looks like he spread a tumor underneath that Queen. You can just barely see the edge of that creep tumor. Circling, blocking the 4th base from going down. So Cure's going to go 4th and then gold base for the 5th. It's a pretty natural expansion pattern because you get 2 bases in basically the same location. Fungal catches a few of these Marines. Nicely done. Second Fungal will finish the deal, but still only a few Marines going down, not the end of the world. Hatchery in the north gets cancelled. Drone goes down there as well. Units lost tab is still in favor of Cure. He's got a second factory on the way as well. 8 barracks should be pumping away. Concussive shells is done. 76 workers for Terran. No sign of Ghost just yet. I do think Ghost would be amazing. And I'd love to see a tech lab on that second factory. When you're up against Roach Ravager, you really want just tanks, ghosts, bio. He's got a big army advantage. Dark does not actually have a max out yet. Dark also is missing an Overlord. Uh-oh. Hydra's coming forward, but the Hydras only have range upgrades so far. The Roaches and the Zerglings, not the best army for this moment. Remember, he also used his only Fungals earlier. His Vipers are only just now gathering energy. Lurkers are morphing. They should be able to at least slow the advance down. Look at that Marine drop in the back. Hydras and Queens are on top of it. Viper could have ducked if he wants to, but he's got Zerglings there to deal with the redrop. Nice movement by Dark. Ghost Academy goes down, as well as a tech lab on the factory. So he is preparing for double tank production. His Cure's got a good setup on the front right now. Lurkers clean up some of those units. We've got 2 Banshees on the bottom right. They're going to take out the hatchery. Okay, I like this. I like the play now from Cure. I think the Roach Ravager has actually slowed down the tempo a little bit, and it was really the Ling Bane that kept catching Cure off guard. He seems to be adapting really well to the slower positional game. Watch out for the fungal, though. The Infestors are right there with the fungal, but no units ready to capitalize. Finally, a fungal lands. Cure massively clumped for that. Oh, man. Blinding Cloud on those tanks could be devastating. That's a really bad tank position, but maybe Dark feels like he can't get on top. The tanks are trying to spread now, realizing this. The Roach Ravager Lurker here, I think he needs to give this base up. Yeah, Dark needs to give this base up. The terrain is just blocking him too badly. Lurker goes down. Queen's starting to get shelled as well. Giving this base up is the better call. He's going to just Parasitic Bomb the Medivacs for now, I believe. Abducting the tanks would be a good idea. He's got to start using that energy. There's no ghost here yet. You've got to take out these siege tanks. There we go, another abduct. So 3 tanks go down. File's trying to stop the advance. Q is just going to try and stim on top of the Lurkers, realizing his army is better right now. Oh man, there's just not enough support. The Lurkers are clearing the Marine Marauder, but Q has got money behind this. He's got a 4th base up. He kills Dark's 4th. Dark's trying to take a 5th base here. He's got the gold base popping up as well. It does feel like a pretty successful series of trades for Q. He's still got a good tank spready, but the more you hang on the front line, the more those Vipers will keep recycling and picking your units off. 4 Marine drop moves to the right side. Lurkers are there. He's going to split a few Lurkers, Ravagers, and Hydras to the left. Q rotating his entire army to the right. Mass Bio heading down here as well. Medivac with 4 Marines does get sniped out. Lurkers are there. Q, careful, mate. Oh, Lurkers unsupported, though. Dark with a big mistake there, and he's just a bit too far behind. Obviously, Q did make a mistake with the Marines stimming in, but he both countered the first attack with Banshees, and he got the 3rd hatchery snipe at the start. I mean, Dark is handing epic advantages to Q, and Q gets himself to a game 5. Maybe here we can find ourselves an evenly matched macro game. All right. What's up, everybody, and welcome back. We've got Q in the top left side of the map, and Dark down here in the bottom right. And I gotta say, I don't even know who I want to win. I think it'd be a travesty for Q to win with how hard it's been for him to kind of finish the games against the Ling Bane. He did look way more solid there versus Roaches. So Dark absolutely should stick to Ling Bane. On the other hand, I think it would be a travesty for Dark to win this series with how bad his openings and mid-game have been. So, I mean, I guess we've got to give it to Dark for having the more clutch finishings in the game for the most part. But what a bizarre series. Dark really messes up StarCraft. He just makes it unpredictable. His macro, his mechanics are fantastic. You know, it's kind of funny because I remember being like, okay, Dark's unpredictable. He's good at making comebacks. Like, what makes him so good? And I remember Rainer saying, like, yeah, Dark's actually got some of the best mechanics. Like, it doesn't matter how hard you make the situation for him. He's so good at just playing perfectly in extreme chaos. And it's kind of funny because it's like, you know, yeah, early game his builds suck, but you know when Rainer he's like one of the comeback kids. He's one of the best at playing clutch in chaotic situations. And when he talks with a bit of reverence about how good Dark is in those situations, you definitely know it. It really is a special characteristic that he has. Because, yeah, definitely Rainer. It takes one to recognize one. And Rainer and Dark, I remember for a few years, that was my favorite Zerg versus Zerg match. I haven't seen them play too much recently, but it'd just be crazy. Fireworks from start to finish. Both of them having great build variety, but also being so capable of making comebacks versus each other. It was very, very fun. 3 Reapers to start here, and holy crud, is Dark going to do the exact same build order? You're kidding me. I don't think it's like putting him massively behind. I just don't think it's very optimal, right? It's like, do we really need to build 10 Zerglings and a 3rd hatchery and lose the hatchery every game? Feels unnecessary, right, guys? It's also, why are we building... okay, actually, no, he's just building 6 Zerglings. This doesn't seem like a great opening. I'd love to do some Terran experts feedback. It's only 3 Reapers this time. Oh, okay, I like this adjustment. Dark's going to go around with the Lings because the add-ons are on the outside. He's going to snipe the tech lab and start damaging the reactor. That's a great move. And I don't think 3 Reapers can kill the hatchery either. This actually might be a way better start for Dark this time. This might be a way better start. He's building a few more Lings, but he's supply blocked on 36, and he's not even started an Overlord. Dark, come on, mate. No Overlord started yet. Come on. But he hits 100 minerals. He still hasn't done it. Oh, Dark's so savage. Ling's going for the reactor. Oh, man, reactor's a very valuable target. You do not want to lose that. If the queens can defend this hatchery, this will be massive. Good grenades, though, bouncing him back. Oh, the reactor goes down. The SCVs have to fight. The Lings are going to kill a bunch of these SCVs because you don't want to lose the Marines. Okay, he loses 1, 2 SCVs go down. The Marines might get the Overlord, though, if he's not careful. But the hatchery survives. And only now does Dark start building Overlords. Oh my god, he's been supply blocked for like 40 seconds. The only reason he's able to build drones is because he lost some Zerglings. Kua comes in, kills a drone, thinks it's helping him. Little does he realize he's just freeing up supplies so Dark can build more drones. The disorganization in Dark's openings is absolutely staggering, guys. It's incredible. Oh, this could have been a great opening. He could be so far ahead right now, killing a reactor, killing 2 SCVs, and keeping the 3rd hatchery alive. Like, he should be miles ahead. It still might be a good position. I don't know. 3rd command center's already done. Oh, straight double engineering bay. What the heck? Q is going to play mass bio. Probably an 8 racks 2-2 all in, right? So basically Q is saying, I'm not going to really do any serious pressure at all. I am just going to get crazy fast upgrades and go for a mass push with 2-2 upgrades. Because he won't even have a good army when 1-1 finishes. That's how much he's delaying his production right now. 44 supply to 66 in favor of Dark. Dark's up 16 workers. If Dark can get a 4th hatchery up nice and early, he can punish this pretty bad. He's taking a 2nd gas right now. Lair, 3rd gas starts up. We definitely want to see Baneling play. The Roach play, Kua looked so much more confident against that. And where do you guys think he takes a 4th? Probably just here in the standard spot, but maybe up the middle? Yeah, he just moved a drone out here. This guy's meant to be building a Baneling nest, but Dark's a bit shy on the gas. He was super slow to put back on gas. I like that he builds that Baneling nest a bit further back in a safer location. There we go. Yeah, it's a pretty well-timed 4th. At some point, Dark's going to realize there's no pressure coming. And right now, he's only got 14 Zerglings and 7 Queens, which is super light on the defense. And it seems like he somehow realizes that this is not a serious aggressive build. Because he's being very greedy. And Kua's like, going to look at this replay after and go, how did he know that he didn't need to build mass Zergling for safety? But I think it's just because the Marines aren't moving out. I feel like Kua needs to fake moving out right now. But he's so afraid of Dark doing a crazy all-in and just surrounding him the moment he leaves his wall off. The Dark is basically like, oh, you're too afraid to move out? I can just... Like, he's making some more Zerglings, but he's already on 60 drones. Macro hatches on the way. I expect him to saturate this base almost immediately. So the only scary thing is if Dark gets left alone so long that he thinks, oh, I can go to 85, 90 drones. And if he goes to 90 drones and then that 2-2 attack hits, it's going to be nasty. Look, 1-1's finishing at 6 minutes 12. And keep in mind, you might look at the creep spread and think, oh no, there's too much creep spread, Pig. Isn't creep going to stop this all in from Kua? And the answer is no. And it's really funny. The reason is, when you do a build like this, you literally ignore creep. You're going to go for so many Marines and Marauders, you're just going to stim on creep. Because you know you're giving him so much time with no harassment or pressure. Creep's going to be at your doorstep, and you're just going to ignore it, and you're going to just dive. And you're basically going to just rely on stimming, stutter stepping, spreading, and microing your heart out to overwhelm. 5th gas is on the way. We've got a mixture of tech labs and reactors on these barracks. That's 8 barracks. He's also building Hellions. Oh, it's the Hellbat Marauder all in as well. It's Marauder Hellbat 2 base. This is such a cool build. He does need to remember concussive as he starts building more Marauders. And it looks like it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 tech labs and 3 reactors. Maybe a little bit heavier on Marauders than I'd like it. But of course, the idea is you get lots of tanky Marauders and the Hellbats deal with the Zerglings. And as long as your units are spread out enough, the Lingbane doesn't do well. The last time I saw, I don't know if it was Kua or someone else did this on Site Delta, they were in a winning position and then they accidentally split their army around a cliff where like half went here, half went here, and they lost both halves of the army to move commanding them into Banelings. And it was one of the saddest all-ins like I've ever seen. Because it would have won the game as well. I don't know if it was Kua or Beyond or someone that did it, but I remember that game very vividly because I was like, what a cool build. This is going to win. And then the guy just miscontrolled really badly. Dark's on 73 workers. As long as he keeps massing Ling Bane, that's correct. He needs a lot of Banelings to clear the Hellbats. And if he can counterattack, which he's set up to do, that'll be great. Obviously, Ultras would be amazing. 1-1 is finished for Zerg, but there's no way 2-2 will be ready in time, as he hasn't even started it, and 2-2 is going to be ready in 30 seconds. Kua's going to start moving out in just a moment. And he will morph into Hellbats, but he likes to keep them in Hellion form while he's moving out because their mobility is great. Oh, Burrowed Banelings again. Burrowed Banelings, very scary. 2-2 starts up. Hive is finished. Powerful all-in coming out of Cure. Nice engage with the Ling Bane. Gets a bunch of those Marines. Q has been a little bit slow on his pickups today. Oh, Ling Bane running in here. And look at that. Right as he moves out, Q are a little bit slow to pull these boys. He hasn't pulled the boys yet. Oh, a little slow on the SCV pull. I don't think you care too much about losing a few SCVs, though, because you're doing an all-in. So as long as you can clean this up and then continue your push without getting too delayed, that's fine. The Ling Bane, oh, he splits Lings in both bases as well, and he can burrow them to be annoying. Oh, if he can pull Q's attention away from the front. Remember, Q is so deep on creep, and that's just how this push works. That's so many Banelings, though. Dark realizes he just needs to defend mass Baneling. The Lings can unburrow and ruin his day. Look at that. He unburrows it all 3 bases at once. On the front, a good spready here for Cure. Cure needs to bring his Marines forward, though. Look at those front units get surrounded. Dark goes in, Dark pulls back, and he keeps forcing Cure to kind of clump his units. The Lings are ripping him to shreds at home. With those Zerglings unburrowing in all the bases, Cure's attention gets pulled away. He can't spread at the front. And it looks absolutely flaccid. I don't even know how Cure won 2 games in that series. It felt like a 3-0 where Cure had no chance. And man, the burrowed Zerglings in each base, the counterattacks. Cure just wasn't doing good enough job of clearing the map. And I really think, looking at this series, I get God view. I get to see everything. There is a clear answer to what Dark did in these Ling Bane games. Number one is potentially just keep the pressure on a little bit better as Cure. But the main one is go vacuuming the map. Sweep up the map before you move out. Because multiple times in this series, Cure goes, time to go for my big timing push, grab ball, move out,
Research
Dark's
complete.
waiting. And this is why I would have loved to see these 2 medevacs, a bunch of units, move out the left, down to the watchtower, do some pressure there, and then join up with the other army somewhere in the middle. But you want to move out, clear out both sides, put out some spotting depots or something like that. And if you see Dark's ready to counterattack, it's okay to buy a little bit of time. Just make sure you aren't getting blindsided by these Ling Bane counterattacks. And yeah, this caught him completely off guard. Cure's reactions also felt very slow today, maybe just having a little bit of an off day. Whereas Dark was just a master of filth. The usage of burrow, the usage of counterattacks, his knowledge of when to be greedy, when to be aggressive, and when he could not fight head-on was immaculate. Shout out to his opening this game as well. It looked really good. If the man didn't get supply blocked, this was a much better adjustment. I'm not sure if it works if he goes 4 Reapers. He still might kill the 3rd hatchery. But the fact is, killing the reactor, killing 2 SCVs, and keeping his 3rd hatchery should have been a massive advantage. Unfortunately, he was supply blocked on 36 supply with 500 minerals and a ton of lava this entire time. And then it's just such a bloody terrible macro, man. Sorry for ranting so much, guys. Can you just imagine how many World Championships Dark would have if he could just not screw up his early game? I really think he'd be unstoppable. It's wild how much talent and raw skill and instinct Dark has as a player. It's absolutely insane. He continues to floor me with his just immense ability. GG, well played, Dark. Gets the 3-2 over Cure and goes to the next round.